Hi, my name is Nola Lachey-Oracius, and today I would like to discuss um the painting of Bélizaire in the Frey Children. It is the 19th century oil painting attributed to Jacques Guillemin Lucien Amends, and it is currently housed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, in Manhattan. Okay. So at first glance, this painting, it looks like a peaceful portrait of wealthy children posed outdoor. However, when we examine more closely, it reveals something more important about race, power, and slavery in the United States. Although the painting presents itself as a calm family portrait, Bélizaire and the Free Children exposes how slavery was visually normalized by marginalized enslaved people while presenting white elite life as innocent and harmonious. This painting was created around 1837, a time when slavery was illegal in the United States and deeply embedded in everyday life. A lot of wealthy families often commission portraits to reflect status, stability, and more respectability. In this work, the first children are presented as carefree and refined, while Bélizaire appears to be standing behind. Bélizaire was an enslaved boy owned by the Frey family. His inclusion in the painting reflects the reality of slavery, but his position and treatment within the composition reveal how enslaved people were socially and visually marginalized. Little fun fact. At one point, at one point in history, in this painting history, Bélizaire was actually painted out entirely, which again reinforced the theme of erasure and control. And also, if you focus on the composition and placement of the children's on the painting, you'll notice that the three children occupy the center of the canvas. They are seated up front comfortably and arranged very closely together, creating a sense of unity and belonging. While Beliezer is in the back, alone, standing, leaning against the tree behind the white children's, which also suggests instability. You know, one could assume, even without knowing the history, the painting visually separate him from the family. And also, if you look closely at the color of the clothing, and also the texture of the clothing, you will notice that the three children are wearing light colored and very well tailored clothing that signal wealth, innocence, and refinement. While Belize in the back, he is wearing something more dark, more darker, more simple. And also his clothing in a way blend him into the background. This contrast reinforces social hierarchy through color and texture. And also the body language and expression. The free children appears to be relaxed, very confident, while Belizaire in the back. His arms are crossed and his gaze is very distant. He looks lost in his gaze. His posture communicates restraint and emotional distance, which tell us he is aware of his lower status despite being close in age to the other children's. The overall theme of this painting is power disguised as normalcy. Nothing dramatic is happening, yet the painting quietly reinforced a system of inequality. By placing Belizaire at the edge, minimizing his present, his clothing darker again minimize his present, because he is blended with the landscape around him. And also later attempting to erase him entirely from the artwork reflect how slavery was made to seem natural and unremarkable in elite society. This painting shows us that art does not simply document history. It also helps us shape how injustice is accepted and remembered. And for me, what makes this painting especially powerful to me is how come it feels while revealing something deeply unsettling. There is no visible violence in the painting, yet the imbalance of power is unmistakable. Bélizaire is present, but he is denied full humanity within the image. The painting encouraged viewers to question who gets centered, who get named, and who is allowed to disappear. In conclusion, Belize Enough for Children is far more than just a family portrait. Through composition, clothing, and placement, the painting exposes how slavery was woven into everyday life in America and visually normalized. And also, by closely analyzing what we can see, this artwork teaches us how power, race, and erasure operate not only in history, but also in art history itself.